we're at my favorite part. We're actually gonna cook the chicken. We butchered it, we seasoned it with salt and pepper, and now we have some coconut oil that we're gonna use to cook it, which we'll get back to later.
Yes.
And we have a big spoon and these awesome looking tweezers. I know it's not to pluck my eyebrows or whatever. So can you please tell me what this is? Because now I really want one. I don't even know what it is yet.
No, of course. So these are chef's tongs.
Okay.
They're just like regular tongs. They're just a little bit thinner and easier to manipulate some of the food that you're going to cook with. I also like to use them for pasta. If you boil spaghetti, you can pick up the spaghetti, twirl it around, plate it very nicely when you're serving it.
Awesome. Okay, so let's start. So we preheated the pan a little bit. It's not too hot. We have it at a medium setting. So I'm guessing we're gonna add the coconut oil?
Coconut oil. So the reason we use coconut oil is a couple reasons. One, it's very fragrant. Two,
whoops,
it pops out easy.
Yeah.
And three, it has a very low smoking point. So like if you cook with olive oil, you'll see your kitchen kind of smokes up quite a bit.
Yes.
For the particular technique that we're cooking the chicken, we're gonna be basting the chicken with the coconut oil.
Oh,
so that's gonna create a very seared, crispy skin on the bottom and a very juicy chicken on top because we're not flipping the chicken back and forth.
Got it. Hence the spoon.
Hence the spoon for basting.
Got it.
As you can see, the coconut oil actually melts very quickly. And I know it looks like a lot, but it's gonna reduce down quite a bit, and we do need the pan to be a little bit filled just to be able to baste.
Right, because we're not flipping it like you said.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool.
And the reason being for the salt and pepper that we seasoned the chicken earlier, we like to let the chicken rest and have the salt kind of break down the proteins a little bit, get it ready for cooking when it's more room temp. You never want to take cold chicken out of the refrigerator, put it in a pan and burn it.
Right. Okay.
At this point, I mean, the coconut oil is looking like it's getting hot. It's not fully melted yet, but we may not even need this much actually. So I can actually pull that little piece out. If I can.
I know, it might just melt already inside there.
You know what? Believe it.
Okay, we're just doing that.
So let's place the chicken skin side down.
Okay.
Keep that nice skin that we had earlier.
Woo.
One. You can already smell that coconut oil.
Yeah, it smells really good.
Okay, and the medium heat is cooking the chicken really well. Obviously, I want to wash my hands.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and do that so we don't contaminate.
No worries, I'll wash the chicken while we do that.
Alright.
So right now, the chicken's cooking. It's not flickering all over the place. It smells really good. I'm excited because I've never basted a chicken before. So I'm going to have Chris show me what that means. And Chris, how long do I have to wait until I can start, you know, basting the chicken?
So you can see that the skin is kind of bubbling, the chicken's moving a little bit. What I'd like to do is turn up the heat a little bit past medium, maybe medium to high. Okay. And we don't want to start basting just yet. You'll just let this cook for a little bit longer, and we can check it with the tongs. We don't want to move it too much, obviously, because we want the skin to look good, but you can just flip it up a little bit. You can see that the skin's starting to brown a little bit, but not quite yet.
So you want it to kind of be like a golden crispy?
Yeah, we're trying to get a perfect golden crispy skin.
Nice.
And you only really get that kind of sear when you rest the chicken to room temperature, place it down in a pot full of coconut oil. In olive oil, you're gonna get a black skin.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
But right now we could probably start basting, and it's going to be a little bit of a process, but you'll be happy at the end. So if you take the spoon here, I'll show you, and then you start.
Okay.
You can start by grabbing a little bit, slowly rolling the coconut oil over the chicken, and you can kind of tell it's starting to cook because the chicken will start to change color on you. It'll go from pink to white, depending on how hot the oil gets.
And it smells really good. Like, I know a lot of times you think coconut oil is associated with like pina coladas, or I mean, I don't like almond joys, or like those coconut candies, but that's what you think about. And it's really interesting to think that you're cooking with something that's more associated with like a dessert or like something sweeter versus doing something that's savory.
Yeah, definitely.
And it smells really good. It's very rich. And the great thing is that when you buy coconut oil, you can use it for other things like skincare or nail care. That's what I do. But now I can actually cook with it and use the whole, tub of coconut oil that you buy from the grocery store. And right now, like this is really cool. Can I try?
Yeah, now it's your turn. You can see that the skin's actually starting to cook.
Yeah.
The meat's turning white, the oil's getting hotter.
Which is great. So you don't ever have to cover this when you're basting the chicken?
The key to basting protein is you don't want to move the protein in the pan at all, and you just want to gently pour the oil over the top of it. That maintains the juiciness of the meat.
See, I think that's a rookie mistake that I made, and I think that's...
A lot of flipping?
Yeah, I would flip it a lot, and I'd get stressed out because I'd see the chicken started getting really dry. And I feel like that's something that, you know, when I was in college and I was cooking, I had a George Foreman grill, and you know, you just like kind of smash the chicken into the grill.
Of course.
And you just like hope, you're like, I think it's cooked, and you like flip it over a lot just to make sure it's fully cooked. This is so much easier. Like,
you know, like all foods that you cook, you know, the longer you cook a food on low heat, the better it's going to be. Braising, stews, chili.
Is it because you keep the moisture in it?
Exactly.
Is this something you learned at True Normand?
Yeah, so I actually didn't know what basting was until I was working the line at True Normand, and one of their more popular dishes, which is rare, is we would get a whole chicken, organic chicken from a farm that only sold chickens directly to that restaurant, and we would serve the chickens by basting them.
The whole chicken?
It was a chicken half, actually.
Oh, chicken half.
It was a wing and a breast.
And how long does this process usually take?
Depending on the heat and the size of the breast. I mean, these two breasts are extremely large. I don't know what they were feeding those chickens. So this looks like it maybe take 10 minutes of basting.
Okay. Am I doing it okay?
I think you're doing it perfect.
Okay, do I just keep on going?
Keep going, keep getting all the little crevices.
Okay. Okay guys, so I think the chicken's almost done.
Just about.
Okay, and you handed me this like
cake tester.
It's a cake tester?
Yeah.
I was like, it looked like a really big sewing needle, so I was like, I don't know what we're gonna do with this, but you told me this is a way to check if the chicken is done. This is what you do in the kitchen.
Yeah, so this is a technique I learned when I was at True Normand on working the line. You don't really have time to be putting meat thermometers and all the different types of cuts that we were cooking at one time. So we all had cake testers, and what you do is you put the cake tester in the middle of the meat, more towards the bone, because that's the longest part it takes to cook. You're right there.
Yeah, totally fine.
It'll get you. And you'll put it in there for maybe 10 seconds, pull it out, and you're going to run it on the bottom of your lower lip.
Okay.
And temping wise, if it's, you know, room temperature, that'd be good for lamb, beef. That would be a medium rare. If it's a little warmer than room temperature, medium, and if it's hot, then you ruin your steak.
Got it.
For chicken and, you know, fowl, fish, well, fowl mainly, you want it to be a little hot, higher than room temp. No one really eats medium rare chicken breast.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
So I'll show you, and then I want you to try it.
Okay.
So you take the tester, put it in the middle of the chicken. 1, 2, 3, pull it out, and just run it. Across your lip. So you'll feel it get warmer once it gets to the tip. And that's how you know it's done.
Okay. So I know I said coconut oil is good for your skin.
Coconut oil is good for your skin.
But I've never put chicken on my face. So as you can tell, I'm a little nervous, but...
Why don't you do this one?
Okay, so...
Don't go down to the pan.
Like an
you kind of want to
angle.
go at a nice, even...
Like this?
Through. Yeah, just like that. So straight in.
Yeah.
A little more.
Okay.
1, 2, pull it out.
Okay.
And run it across, and you feel it warm, warm, warm.
It's warm.
Hot at the tip.
Yes.
Chicken's done.
Okay.
So we can pull the chicken out, and we'll let it rest for 5 minutes.
Okay.
And I'll show you the beautiful skin we made.
Ooh, that looks really good. And now I know the secrets of like the chefs, like how they get chicken to still be moist.
Chicken's moist, skin's perfect, pan's still raging hot.
Yep. I can
push it away from the burn.
Yep.
And you know, on to the next step. We'll let this rest for 5 minutes.
Okay, and so we're gonna let it rest for 5 minutes so the oil can kind of just like settle.
Yeah, and the juices will get back into the chicken. If you cut it immediately, you're gonna lose all your juice and all your hard work basting.
Okay, awesome. So we're gonna let it rest for 5 minutes and start prepping for the next step.